up, and welcome back to Opposites Attract podcast. This is Sonia Ramirez, and I am with my hot, amazing husband,
Miguel Ramirez. What's up, babe?
What's up?
Nothing.
Happy Sunday.
Happy
Sunday.
That's the sound of me cracking a beer open Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, we miss you guys. Yeah. It feels like it's been, there's been a lot of time in between our last podcast.
They do seem like there's more.
Yeah.
It seems like there's more time in between. Like it's been forever. I don't know why.
Yes.
But maybe it feels like that for you guys, and we need to start doing more podcasts.
Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see.
So before we get started.
Yes. Before we get started, we want to get into our plugs, and then we'll get into the podcast. So, as you guys know, this podcast is brought to you by Trust Inc.
Yeah.
And Trust Inc. is
a nationwide mobile notary agency. We work a lot with title companies, law firms, and individuals as well. So know that it doesn't matter what state you live in, we got your back. We are also independent associates with Legal Shield, and what Legal Shield does is it gives you access to law firms in the palm of your hand for affordable price.
Did you get that right? It sounded like you were mixing Trust Inc. and Legal Shield together.
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
We got your back nationwide with the notary. Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So notary services, signing services for real estate and title companies, and legal services. You can find that at Trust Inc. USA. That's TrustINKUSA.com. And this podcast, the way it grows is by sharing it. That's the best way that it grows, is share it with the people that you know. You can go to OPpositesAttractPod.com, and that you can see all the links to subscribe to the YouTube channel, to the Facebook page, the group. And something new that we just did, if you want it, you can go check out the website. But we have a support the show section. So at the top, you'll see the menu. If you click on support the show, we have a new Amazon affiliate link. So for those of you that shop on Amazon,
and we know you all do,
which is everybody. If you click on the support the show tab at the top, it'll take you down to that section. And if you click the Amazon link and you purchase through that link, we get a couple cents or something, a little kickback. We've actually never had it. We haven't even bought anything yet. I just set it up yesterday. Yes. So, but that's just a way that you guys can support the show. Yes. It's a free show, so that would help us out. Even if it's a couple pennies, maybe over time.
Yeah, and it costs you
doesn't cost you anything.
Nothing at all. So,
and at the very least, you can share the show with those that you know, subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff.
All that good stuff. So,
OppositesAttractPod.com.
Yes. Are we ready? I'm excited.
Why? I told you to bring the energy, and you're dancing in your seat. So what's up, eh?
Well, I got a lot of good stuff going on.
Yeah.
And the kids went back to school on Thursday.
That's right. Thank you for all of you that were listening, that have been listening to the podcast. I know last week was a little bit different, but I've gotten a lot of good feedback. Like it was a great, funny podcast.
Yes.
And that's one of my friends at work. He said, CJ, who listens to the podcast, he was saying one thing that he likes is that you never know what the hell you're going to get on this podcast.
Really?
Because yesterday we were talking, or last week we were talking about Thailand strip clubs. But we also talk about making smart financial decisions and how to raise your kids. And needles flying out of strippers to blow up balloons and stuff. So you don't know what you're going to get.
Right. If you want to hear it,
go back and check it out. Definitely.
Yes. What I'm excited about too is that, well, see, now I'm jumping on another subject.
Well, you were saying the kids go back to school.
Yeah, the kids, which I didn't feel like we had a long enough summer with them. I felt like it went so fast, and I don't know if it was because we were on vacation.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I just didn't feel like I had that time.
I think there's a lot of parents out there that feel the opposite way. They're like, I can't wait for these little shits to get back in school.
Yeah. We went swimming a few times when we got back from vacation, but I didn't feel like I had that intimate time with them. But we did have a lot going on this summer.
Yeah.
So I wasn't as excited for them to go back.
Yeah.
I was, but then I wasn't.
But now's the time of the year where everybody kind of gets back to normal.
Yeah.
And we start hustling again.
Yes. And so I took the kids school shopping. because I know how much you love that. So I decided to do it while you were at work.
I didn't do any school shopping this year, which was great.
And
I just don't like being around so many. Like, you go to Walmart,
and
it's freaking packed. There's fucking people throwing shit everywhere. Like, you can't find the pencils are all over the place. The pens are all like it's irritating. And you know what? When we were kids, like, we've talked about this before, but like, they give you this list now of like, I don't remember having to buy
list.
all the supplies for the school when I was growing up. Like, I had to buy my own supplies.
Right.
Like
your
my parents,
binder,
we had to buy the binder, the paper, the pencils. But that was my stuff.
Right.
Which, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's kind of like charity. Because, like, the people that don't have the money for it, we kind of buy community pencils and all that stuff.
Right.
So, I don't know, man. That kind of gets into some of the other stuff.
I know. I'm like, oh, you're bringing up some stuff that I don't even have on my list, but that's something good to talk about. It is.
What we just watched?
Well, no, I'm talking about like right now, like with the whole situation with the teachers not getting paid what they're worth and, you know, the kids not getting the education that we, you know, that's like a whole other topic that maybe we could talk about on the next podcast. So we don't dig in deep.
I mean, I'm sure we'll get into it.
Yeah. But anyways, while I was going shopping with the kids, like, and I'm such a nerd, like, I'm getting emotional. I'm sitting back and I'm watching them. And as a child, dude, we were poor. I'm going to sock you in the throat right now. Like,
we were so poor.
If you heard that smack, that was me smacking him on the shoulder. But it felt so good to be able just to take the kids shopping and not have to worry about paying the bills. You know?
It is amazing. And you know what? They don't give two shits about it.
And they're
like, oh, I want these pencils. They don't care at all. Like, they have no clue.
They don't. They really, really don't.
Yeah.
You know, like, as a child, for, you know, my mom, I remember my sister taking me shopping, and it ended up horrible because I lost her entire wallet and she just cashed her check. So that my school clothes, I felt so bad. Anyways, but it felt good to be able to, you know, do the things, you know, for the kids, be able to buy them the clothes and the shoes.
Not really worry about it.
And not have to worry about it. And look at them. And like you said, they have no idea how lucky they are. But it was a moment for me, you know, that I felt proud. Like, I felt good because you and I, you know, we're not doing like the best.
No.
But we're doing good.
But we're doing okay.
You know?
We're doing all right. And that's not the case for everybody. That may not even be the case for other people that listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
So, you know,
But I'm just grateful. Like, I was just filled with gratitude being able to do that.
And you were crying at Walmart?
Not crying. It was just a sentimental.
Yeah.
I do have a pen.
You have no, don't stab me. We're just getting into the show. We still got another 50 minutes to go. And I don't want to be bleeding for the next 50 minutes. No, yeah, you're right. It is something to be grateful for.
Oh, I have something funny to share.
Go ahead.
So
what crazy shit happened at Walmart?
No, it wasn't at Walmart. It was at the mall.
Okay.
So Audrey borrowed $2 from me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we go shopping. She wanted to have a mother-daughter date. So we go to the mall.
Oh, I love mother-daughter dates. Yay. I just sit and refresh the bank account while I'm at the house without you guys and see what the hell you guys are buying. I'm like, jerk. Oh, fuck. They're at Claire's or whatever the hell. Or
really?
Fucking,
For
no,
really?
I'm just kidding.
You'd lie. I can totally see you doing that.
I'm just kidding. I'm not sitting there refreshed. I'm actually working while you guys are spending the money that, you know, whatever. So what happened at the mall?
Anyways, so we go into Claire's and she loves, I think all the little girls do. They love Claire's, right?
Yeah.
You've been there. They have like jewelry.
Yeah, they got all kinds of shit. It's just all junk.
You know,
it seems like anyway.
Anyways, so I take her in there and she has $20. So she's looking around. And I don't know, I think I stepped out because a call came through or something. I stepped out. I told her I'd be waiting outside. And she comes out and she's all excited. And she's like, Mom, I bought you something. And you guys don't understand. If you don't know my daughter, I mean, this little girl, when it comes to, she's a little selfish. I don't think she's gotten to the point. I think, or she likes money.
Yeah.
And she will buy for her brother. But I don't know. She's got a hold on this thing for money, right?
Yeah.
So when she came out and she said that she bought me something, I was just like, oh, my baby.
How sweet.
She's having a breakthrough.
Yeah. What happened?
She gives me these pearl earrings.
That's
which
sweet.
She knows it is sweet. But she gives them to me. She says, here, Mom, now I don't owe you $2. I was like, what?
You're like, that's not how this works.
And she did not get it. She tried to make me feel bad.
Because she bought you something.
Right.
But she owed you money.
She owed me money.
Nice. That's a good move. The thing is that they cost $2. So at least she was breaking even. It would have been even better if they were like $1. And she was trying to make $1.
Heck no. Yeah. Oh, heck no.
That would have been even better.
Went back.
Yeah.
And took the earrings back and got my $2 and put them in my
didn't.
pocket. But I didn't. But I'm never going to wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you tell her that? Did you break her little heart? So.
Anyways, I thought that was kind of funny. I thought she bought it, from the bottom of her heart. And so she's like, here you go. I don't owe you $2.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? I was thinking, so last week when we were on the podcast, we were talking about our hotel and the crackheads and the security with the do-rag and the Glocks.
This is how much my husband loves me. He puts me in a...
No, listen. So I'm going to explain what happened. We figured it out after the podcast. Okay. So after the podcast, we went and hung out with Chris, Francesca, and their kids, and we were just having a good time. Then I think we went to a show that night. And then after the show, we were going back to our hotel.
Right.
And we don't know Vegas like that, so we put it in our GPS, obviously. And when we pulled it up on the GPS, in Google Maps, it always has like the rating and the information of the hotel.
Right.
When we put it in, it comes up 3.8 stars. And right next to it, it says 2-star hotel. So what happened was the rating, that 3.8 stars is what people rated it on Google. Like their reviews of the hotel.
Okay.
But the hotel is actually a 2-star hotel.
There you go.
So I got confused and I'm like, well, 3.8 stars, that's almost a 4-star hotel. Chris and Francesca were staying in a 4-star hotel.
Right.
Which was actually a 4-star hotel. And we were like, yeah, how come our 4-star hotel doesn't look like their 4-star hotel?
Like, what's up? What's going on?
What the hell? Yeah, because it was, the hotel had a lot of character.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And crackheads.
Yes. So going back to the kids.
Yeah.
There's something I wanted to bring up to you because I was talking to Francesca and you know how she's going to school for psychology and you know how I am on this mission of personal development, soul searching and all that other good stuff. So her and I were talking and we brought up a situation where, you know how you and I at times, like we have dates, right?
Like date night?
Date night.
Yeah.
And Audrey tends to get a little upset whenever we go out alone.
Yeah.
She used to. Now she's getting better, but before she's like,
how come we can't take her? And...
Right, yeah, like I want to go. Why are you and Mom going together?
Yeah. And
so she said that there's a study that, and it's called and I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, but the Oedipus complex or penis envy it's called. Have you ever heard of that?
Audrey has penis envy? I hope not.
But what that is, it's a term used by Sigmund Freud in his theory of psychosexual stages of development to describe a child's feeling of desire for his or her opposite sex parent and jealousy and anger toward his or her same-sex parent.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, so go for it, because I heard all the words,
like,
and I'm like, huh?
Well, it was a jealousy that she had towards me, because you and her are very close. Like, she would even tell you, why are you taking Mommy? Why don't you take me? But it also happens to adults. So there's a Oedipus complex for adults.
Okay.
Okay.
So you get that when I do stuff with Audrey?
No. Well, remember way back in the day when like you and I were having this, and this is kind of going deep, but you and I were at a point where we weren't seeing eye to eye. Like I felt like we were growing apart.
Okay.
We weren't spending enough
you were,
time together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you were saying about how you can see the love and the affection with the kids, but you didn't feel like you were getting that.
Right. Like I would watch you with the kids and you were so loving and so nurturing and so affectionate, but you weren't that way with me. And we were going through this stage in our life. And that's when we started seeking. And that's when we came across the 5. Hey, if you don't give me enough penis, what do you expect me to feel? No.
Rubber penis.
But that's when we came across the 5 love languages.
Yeah.
But I started working on this internally and looking for help outside. And I actually connected the dots and started processing this stuff myself. And she said that everything that I was doing is what they were teaching her in class. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't know that there was even a word for it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, but that's something that we came together, not knowing exactly what it was, but just meditating through prayer, self-process.
Yeah.
Kind of like stepping out of my body and looking.
Yeah. Looking at what's going on.
Right.
Going on. Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty cool. You know?
It is.
You know, so that was like a aha.
Yeah, there's a lot of well, that kind of goes. So there's things that we do that we don't realize why we do them, and they're tied to other things.
Right.
Which kind of brings us to what we were just watching a little while ago.
Yeah.
So for those of you that have Netflix, there's a couple shows that we've been watching, but this one was a documentary, and it's called The Great Hack.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Super.
That documentary, it kind of opens your eyes to a few things. It's kind of scary, but
after watching that movie, I'm like, I totally just want to disconnect and be a hippie. Like, yeah.
For those of you that are listening, what it's about is this company called Cambridge Analytica. I'm sure you guys remember back in the day or a few years ago when there was a problem with Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg had to go testify before Congress about Facebook using people's data.
Talk about this. They're going to zap our podcast.
Well, maybe. I mean, you know, and so anyway. So he had to go and explain like what was happening with people's data. And it happened all around the last election, when the last election was going on. And this documentary kind of goes into how they collect the data. It doesn't really show exactly what they do with it or how they target people, but it tells you that they do target people. And they have, what was it? Was it like, I don't know if they had, was it 5,000 or 50,000 data points on every single person in the United States?
Yeah.
Either way, 5,000 is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So data points saying like this person's married, this person's this old, this person likes this person thinks this way, just based off of the group. So if you think about it, I mean, I always get this feeling sometimes like when you download an app.
I always feel like there's somebody watching me.
Yeah, that show made it a little bit more real. But so every time that you download an app,
people are like they're turning.
So well, think about it. So you have an app that you download, and the first thing that it does is it asks you what? Because back in the day, it wasn't like this.
Yeah,
it asks you to do what? To agree.
Yeah.
But before you even start using the app, it has you log in. Now you can create an account, but what's easier than creating an account? Log in with Facebook.
Right.
Now this app has you log into Facebook and it can see all your information.
Yes.
But not only that, but you have a whole bunch of friends. And this app maybe, or whatever you use on Facebook, like an app that's on Facebook, which is how this company, Cambridge Analytica, collected information, is if I allowed it to collect my information, now it can see who all my friends are.
Right.
And it can see all the data of my friends. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to do it specifically. But if you're a friend of mine and and I can see that you're married and that you work at this place and that you follow these TV shows and these groups, through me, that app can collect their information.
Right. So it knows your likes, it knows your dislikes, it knows certain things that happen, you know.
They were saying that they only needed, I think, like 70,000 people to allow them so that they could collect the information of the entire country.
Yeah. Yeah.
And through that, they, they can use that data to target things specific or people specifically towards certain things. It was scary.
It's like, are you making the decisions because that's what you want, or are you making the decisions because that's what the information that they're putting out for you to see? But that's why, and I know it's happened to you because I've seen some of my friends on Facebook, the audience.
They can't see.
I'm not always talking to you. Oh, yeah, they can.
If they're watching.
If you're watching.
Not everybody's watching. So
but
you guys out there.
That's why if you're searching something and all of a sudden you're getting ads, like say, I don't know, you're looking
like you think your phone is listening to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking of starting a new yoga class. And all of a sudden I'm getting all these advertisements for different yoga classes.
Yeah.
You know, like it's all interconnected.
Well, if you think about
which
it,
is freaky.
If you have Google Chrome or Firefox or whatever, it's easier for you just to have the browser save your information and keep you logged in all the time.
Right.
So you don't have to log in all the time.
Yeah.
But then you open up another tab and you start searching for hotels in Las Vegas.
Right.
Well, guess what I start getting ads for? I didn't search anything through Facebook. I'm still getting ads for hotels on Facebook.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So
it knows where you are. It knows your speed limit.
So one of the funny things that we saw in this documentary, and I was cracking up because, like we've talked about on this podcast before, like we try to keep an open mind when it comes to everything, when it comes to politics, when it comes to religion, when it comes to all this stuff. We try to keep an open mind. Like, you know what? My mind isn't made up. If you can show me something that makes sense, then maybe you can change my mind. But I'm not one of these people that's closed-minded. In this documentary, they call those people the persuadables.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we think that we're being smart.
Yeah.
We're being progressive. But this company...
We're independent.
We're independent thinkers. But this company knows that the fucking dummies all the way over here on the left and the fucking dummies all the way on the other side on the right, you're not going to change their mind.
Right.
So they gather all this freaking data, and then they target all the people that they call the persuadables in the middle to start thinking a different way.
Yeah.
And I was like, hold up. They're talking about us. I was like, what the fuck? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's called the Great Hack. If you guys want to check it out on Netflix, yeah.
So this morning, I had mentioned to you that I wanted to start going back to church.
Yeah.
And it's because I've been going through, just some things, just inner. And I felt like I was being called to go back to church. Like it's something that I want to do. And it is a foundation that I want to bring the kids up in. Yeah. Right. And I felt a lot of pushback from you, which didn't feel good. I mean, you were negative. You weren't excited at all about it.
No.
And it was...
Well, for one, today is August 4th. In about a month, the football season starts. And I will be watching football instead of going to church.
Okay.
Especially if the Packers are playing.
That's fine.
But I just don't... I don't know. I don't like it.
But you just said right now that you were open-minded.
Yeah, I am. But I can research the church in other ways besides going to church.
It's not about
There's other ways to get information than going to a place where everybody... I don't know. It's just not my thing. Okay. I'm telling you, because it's a place where everybody follows this one thing. But I'm not going to follow something blindly. I'm not going to follow something blindly.
For me, it's bigger than that.
I get it. That's fine. And you can go. That's great. It's 1 hour a day or a week. You can go. That's fine.
Okay. And then, this morning I was listening to, my Facebook Live, and I could feel the tension, and I can feel it
I don't
right
care.
now.
You can listen to whatever you want to listen to.
But I heard you smack your lips.
When did I smack my lips?
I heard you. Like, you're like, oh, God, here we go.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. That's all you have to say.
Well, I don't want to go to church. That's it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know what you want to... What do you want from me?
Support. And
I support
you've been
you.
pretty supportive.
Take your ass to church. I support you.
Okay, but just
support me too. I don't want to go to church.
I can feel you.
This is the thing,
and that's it.
This is
like
the
if
thing,
you're like, cool, babe, that's good because it's something I enjoy and something that I like, and it's something that.
No, this is the thing: is that you going to church turns into you wanting me to go to church, and I don't want to go to church, and I don't even want to talk about it. I don't like. Every time I have to sit here and justify why I don't want to go to church. I just don't want to go.
Well, you don't have to justify, but I told you. I didn't say.
Listen, every time that you say that you want to go to church, what do I have to tell you?
Nothing.
I don't want to go to church.
You should have listened and said, you know what, that's good. I know how much you like that. Instead of getting very defensive about it.
No, whenever you say you want to go to church, I'm like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go.
I didn't ask you if you wanted to go.
Okay.
But you got defensive about it instead of just saying, that's good, babe. I know how, know.
So we'll say it here in front of everybody. That's great. You can go to church. I don't want to go.
Okay. I'm not going to get no smacking lips and
I don't want to go. There you go.
You're such a jerk.
Anyway, anything else you got on your list from last week?
That was from this morning, actually.
Yeah, that was. So I talked to my dad a few days ago, and he was telling me about some of the things that he used to do back in the day. Mm-hmm. So we were like, this is obviously before Facebook, before social media. Like, one of the ways that we grow this podcast is through our Facebook group. Like, people can share the group. People come on the podcast and then we can tag them, and then the people that they know, they can like the podcast, whatever. It's kind of like a big way to, spread your network, right? Which is crazy. When we just watched that documentary.
I told him, I'm like, I don't know about this whole podcast.
Real quick. Yeah. Real quick on that documentary, like, they talked about the founders of Facebook. By the way, if you don't know, Facebook owns Instagram. They own WhatsApp. Like, the biggest communications platforms they own. And it originally started
the world.
And it originally started as a way for people to connect and communicate with people, with friends, with family. And while you're scrolling of pictures of your friend's baby, there's an ad that's targeting you, or a video that's targeting you, or you'll get a video from one of your friends that got it from somebody else. Mm-hmm. And you don't know where that video originally came from, but it could have came from one of these places.
Right.
And it's like, oh, cool. And they share it and share it and share it and share it.
Yep.
That's the way the thing grows. But anyway, so back before all this stuff, my dad, before the internet and all that stuff, my dad one of the ways that he used to hustle and make money was by throwing parties, which is perfect for him because he loves to party. And we used to rent out a place in New York and make flyers, hand out flyers, and he used to make a mailing list. And what he used to do, which is, so the way that we started talking about this was because he's starting like a ping pong league, like table tennis in Ecuador. But my dad has always stayed off of social media. Like, he doesn't have a Facebook, doesn't have Instagram, doesn't have any of that stuff. He just doesn't want it.
Right.
But I told him when he was telling me about this league, like, one of the things that you have to have today is social media. Like, even if you don't have it personally, you have to have it for your league. Like, you start this ping pong league, you need to make a group for your league.
Right.
And then when this tournament happens, you need to take pictures and put the pictures in the group. People want to see themselves in pictures, and then they tag themselves or you tag them, then they share it, then other people like it, then they join the group. So I was telling them it's just something that you have to have if you want to grow it, which is what we do with our podcast, right?
But
so
you have to have it.
If you want to grow it, you do nowadays.
That's just crazy.
So this is what used to happen back in the day with the parties. This is what he told me he used to do. Throughout the night at the party, he would take pictures of people and he would make a big photo album. And then he would go to work and he would show people at work the photo album. And they would be looking for themselves in the photo album. And they would show it, just like sharing it. Yeah. They would show, hey, check it out. This is the party that I told you about. And they share, look, this is me with these girls. Or look, this was the wet t-shirt contest or the dancing contest. Like this is, check it out. It was so much fun. And then he would sell tickets like half price.
Yeah.
If you
the old way of marketing.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty
used to do it back in the day.
Pretty clever, but that's what he would take pictures, put them in an album, show them to everybody, and then he would be like, "Hey, if you want to go to the next one, it's in a couple of weeks. You know, if you pay me now, it's $10 instead of $20 at the door."
So I put a post up on Facebook 20 years ago. The internet was an escape from the real world. Today, the real world is an escape from the internet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
It just totally flipped.
Yeah, it's kind of scary when you think about it. I mean, they have everything. They have all our information, all our stuff.
They know where you live.
Well, that's obvious. But one of the things that this documentary also talked about was like who owns this data, because part of the documentary was this guy suing that data company for his information. He's like, I want to know what you have of me. Mm-hmm. And I remember a few years ago talking to you about like the credit companies, like Equifax, and we got something to talk about that too on another subject. But like credit, like we don't really need our credit too much because we're not buying cars. We're not getting credit cards. I mean, if we buy a house, yeah, but as far as credit goes, like a lot of people buy cars, they apply for credit cards, they use their credit in a lot of different ways. We don't really use our credit much, so we don't worry about it too much.
Well, I do.
But one of the things is that I talked to you a while back was I didn't sign up for Equifax. I didn't sign up for Experian or TransUnion. Why are they collecting information on me?
Well,
who told them that they could collect my stuff? I don't want to be part of their system.
But you did.
When
you got the identity theft protection, because they use 3 credit bureaus.
I get it. That's what they use to monitor it. But I never told them that I wanted them to collect my information.
That's the only way they can monitor your information.
No, this has nothing to do with monitoring. Forget about monitoring. I'm talking about them collecting my history of my payments, of all that stuff. They have me in their system.
Got you.
I never signed up to be part of their system. Like, why do they even have a profile? Why can somebody run a credit check and be like, who is Miguel Ramirez? Why do you have my stuff?
Right. I never thought about that.
Because it's the same that these people are talking about in this documentary. Like, this company has these many data points on people. It's like, I never signed up for that. Or did you? Because you may have.
Yeah. Because we don't read. Think about that. Every app that you downloaded, you agree. Can we get it, into your contacts? Agree.
Can we see your pictures?
This is the policy. And if you don't accept it, guess what? You can't have the app.
I always get a bad feeling when it's asking me, can I see your contacts? And I'm like, can I look at your pictures? Can I see all your files? I'm like, why? The fuck?
I don't know.
So it's kind of scary.
Yeah. Let's go sell the houses and go live in a cabin and leave our computers and just disconnect and just live off of fish from the
Well, I don't know why we have to live off of fish, but a while back I remember you wanted to get into this minimalist lifestyle.
Yeah.
You were saying you wanted to buy a bus.
Yeah.
I was like, you can park the bus in front of the house and live in it.
I told him,
I'll be living in the house.
So to buy a bus.
I'm like, go for it. I was like, get
like-
yourself a cute little school bus.
He's like,
You
I'll
can-
be waving to you
from
outside the bedroom door.
from inside the house. I'm like, wow, I was like, I got a pool in the backyard of my house. You got a bus.
But that would be kind of cool if you think about it.
Hell no.
Because you have no connection to anybody. Like you're just,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
There is kind of like you kind of feel like there is good that comes out of not having all kinds of material stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that just ties you down. But at the same time, it's convenient. I think there's a balance. It's to a point. When you start buying all kinds of crazy shit that just doesn't make sense,
Yes.
then maybe.
I think we need to go back to the hippie days where we're just all smoking weed
And having sex.
Having sex.
Yeah. So, one thing about the data stuff that we've been talking about, for those of you that don't know, Equifax had a huge data breach here recently, and it affected, I think, 147 million people in the United States. And we've been affected. We checked it out last night. So if you go to Google and you search Equifax data breach FTC for Federal Trade Commission,
Yes.
it'll take you to it. You'll see it. Make sure that it's from the FTC's website. So you'll see a .gov, and you can put in your last name and the last 6 of your social, and then they'll have your data and they'll sell it to all kinds of other people. But you will also be able to see if your information was compromised, which both of ours was. And then right then and there, you can file a claim. You can opt for identity theft protection for free for a year. They'll pay for it. Or since we already have identity theft protection through Legal Shield and Trust Inc.
And I never talk about that, by the way. And that's actually why I started working with Legal Shield because I was a victim.
So if you already have identity theft protection, you can opt to be paid out. So they'll pay you $125. It's not much. The thing is that there's a limit to how much they're going to pay out. So for those of you that are listening, make sure you do it right away so that you're one of the first. And I mean, hopefully you get something for them losing your data.
And by the way, just a little insight. If they lost your information, if they were breached, how are they going to protect your information? I don't understand why they offer them a protection.
It's
when
crazy,
they
huh?
can even protect
Like they already
themselves.
lost your shit.
I'm going to give you a year free, which not everyone, like we all been victimized when you think about it. Think about where we shop and think about all the large companies that have been breached.
This just made me think of something. So Equifax lost our data.
Right.
Have you ever given Equifax your address or your credit card information? Equifax directly?
No.
I haven't. So they lost your information. Now they want to protect your data. And to protect your data, you got to give them more information.
But we didn't even allow them the very
Information
first
the first
time.
Crazy.
So
anyway. So you can opt to be paid out. So just take a look at that.
Yeah.
Freaking
Let's
nuts.
see here. Oh.
What's up, babe?
Okay, so before we get to that, I was reading some things and just doing some personal development, and there was this quote that said, "People are one hard decision away from living a happy life." And I was like,
why are you looking at me?
No, I'm just think about that.
You're like, this dude's got to go.
You are one hard decision away from living a happy life.
One? Nah, maybe.
Well, I mean,
because one
that's
could
just-
encompass a lot of decisions.
Right.
Okay.
And I was thinking, what is that one decision that would, what would that be for you? Is there something that you feel?
I don't know. I got to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
Was that deep?
It was.
So deep.
Well, think about that.
Balls deep.
There's some people that are in a situation and they're not.
I live a
in
happy life.
Good situation.
Even though I'm angry a lot of times, I live a happy life.
I wish they had some happy pills that I could just flick in your mouth. Like,
They do. They do.
Whenever I see you getting upset, if we're driving, wham, that's it.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
So yeah, and so one thing that we've been working on, obviously I was working on the website a little bit. I've also been working on, well, one thing that I want to do, which will help grow the podcast, but also help other people that want to start a podcast. Because I think,
this is going to be really good.
I think for you guys that listen to the podcast would agree that for what we have, our podcast probably looks and sounds really good. Maybe sounds better than other podcasts that have a lot more money. But it's just doing the best that you can with the resources that you have.
Yep.
So I was going to make a couple videos on how to start a podcast and what it costs. Because really, if you really want to start a podcast, I mean, it's less than $150.
Yeah. So if you've been thinking about it,
I'm going to make a couple videos on what you need to buy.
Yep.
Because she knows, like when I research stuff, I get into it, and you don't have to do all the research because I've looked into all the different microphones. I've looked into all the different softwares. I've looked into all this different stuff, and I've kind of narrowed it down to what works the best.
That's awesome. Because I've had a couple people ask me, so I'm excited for that to come out and just to be able to give back, give value to our listeners.
Because
maybe help someone.
The truth is, when you listen to this, these microphones, they're like $65. So it's not much.
Yeah.
But the setup with the stand and everything, it's like $100.
Yeah.
So if you want to start a podcast, you can probably do it for maybe about $100.
Yeah.
But even cheaper if you really wanted to.
That's super cool.
So we'll share how to do that. And the video is shot on your cell phone.
Yes.
And then I use free software to edit it and do all that stuff. So, yeah.
So, though we are thinking bigger because we would like, and just so you all know, I know we've had a few guests recently, but we're going to have a lineup of some really good guests and experts on maybe relationship, marriage, parenting, finances, all that good stuff, spirituality. So that's something I'm excited about doing and lining up now that we're getting back in momentum and summer is over.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be a whole lot of fun. But having the setup that we need so that we can maybe bring on other couples that have been together, because right now the way we have it set up, it's good for one other individual.
Yeah.
But I would also like to start doing Facebook Lives. Like I sent you that video on how to do that. And
for that, that's something that we have to invest in because you need a different computer.
I think there's another way though.
There's certain things that you have to take into because right now we take video, but it's not processed by the computer. It's processed by your phone.
Okay.
So if you want to do Facebook Live, the audio and the video is all processed by the computer.
Okay.
And the computer may not be able to handle all that. So anyway, this is technical stuff that you guys probably don't want to listen to.
Because I would like to also interview people that live in different states. Different countries,
and we're working on all that because we know we have people that are out of town that would be great guests.
Yes.
That people would like to hear from, that are funny, that are smart, that have done different things. So we'll work on that. I mean, and we don't have a problem investing in our own stuff. So, speaking of like having that no quit attitude, that I think we have a lot of that. When it's something that we want, we do get busy.
Yeah.
Right. What were you gonna say?
With me, because I'm so I'm internal. Not
in your head?
In my head. Like, it has to be something that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never felt like, even with jujitsu, I liked it. You know, and I asked myself, okay, and my sciatica was giving me a lot. But I'm like, did you quit because you didn't feel like you were getting good or you weren't good enough? Or did you actually quit because of the pain? You know what I'm saying? Like, I question myself.
I think it just depends on personalities. And I think it depends on personalities and what you're doing. Because there's things that I say that I want to do, and then I just don't do it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the freaking eating and working out. Like we said we were going to do something a while ago, and we did for a while. And then we kind of came off because we went down to Mexico. Then we were going to Vegas. So we're like, fuck it. Let's just go party in Vegas and have a good time, eat whatever we want.
Yes.
And then we extended that for the rest of this week. And then now
for
tomorrow,
the entire summer,
we're back on it. Tomorrow, we're back on it. So it just depends on what it is. But like jujitsu, I really like jujitsu. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I've been pretty consistent. This last week, I haven't gone because we've had a bunch of stuff going on. So we're starting fresh tomorrow. But the podcast is another thing. Like I decided
you're very passionate about this and you're excited about it and
I'm
you're focused.
Always thinking something.
So that's what I'm saying. Like it has to be something. And I think this is for everyone. You know, you're not going to do something that you don't enjoy. And sometimes we still have to do things that we don't enjoy. Yeah. You know, to be healthy. You know, for a lot of people, it's exercising, it's eating better, eating healthy. You know, those aren't things that we like to do. You know, those aren't things that we like to do, but those are things that we have to do. Yeah. To prolong our life and to feel good. I mean, for me, it's all about feeling good. Yeah. You know, being in that space.
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah. So speaking of that, there's a story that I shared with you earlier in the week. There's two stories that I wanted to share with you guys because there's some of these like unbelievable stories. I shared with you the story of Damon Sheehy Giuseppe. He was a guy from Arizona, and he wanted to be an NBA player. He wanted to play in the NBA. I mean, how many kids' dreams is to play professional sports, right? And this guy decided that he was going to go to Mesa Community College right out here, and he tried out for the basketball team. And he's athletic, and right away, denied. Did not make the team. So he decided that, you know what? I'm going to try out for the track team. Because he was fast, he was an athletic guy, and he joined the track team, and he made it. And he was running, he did very well, and he ended up getting into a car accident, and that ended the track season. So I don't know exactly what happened, but he didn't stay at Mesa Community College. He ended up going to Phoenix College, which is where I went. Your old school. Mm-hmm. And for those of you that have seen the video of Audrey doing jiu-jitsu, that's the college that they did the tournament at. And he went to that school and tried out for the football team. Yep. And didn't hear anything back. He was totally relentless. He had that burning desire. So there's no way that he was quitting. So he tries out for this team, and he didn't get a call back. No. So what was his thought? Well, they didn't say no. So I'm going. So he shows up to the practices and starts working out with the football team. And he starts going every day, or whenever their practices are, he shows up and he's working out. And people are like, who is that dude? Right. Like, where did he come from? And he's like, well, nobody said I didn't make it, so I'm here. And he worked out the entire off season or whatever it was. And one of the coaches was like, well, shit. I mean, let's see what he's got. Yeah. And he ended up being like the junior college national leader for kick return and punt return. He was on special teams on the kickoffs and the punts and stuff. So he became the national champ in junior college for that. So now he has film of him playing. Yes. So he decides he's going to take out a credit card, and he's going to start going to all these Division I schools so that he can show them his tape, and they'll obviously take him, and he'll start playing Division I football. Obviously take him? Oh, well, yeah, that's because what he was thinking. The problem was that he didn't have enough credits to be eligible to play Division I football. So there goes that. Yep. So instead, what he decides is that he's going to go straight to the NFL. And he went to Tampa Bay, went to Miami. I think he hit up all the Florida teams and nothing. Yeah. He heard that there was a workout for the Canadian Football League in Las Vegas. And he went, tore it up, and somebody told him, you know, they really, I mean, this is more just for show. Like, they don't really sign people from these workouts. Yeah. He tried arena football, didn't hear a call back. And then, but during all this time, he's still working out. He's still staying in shape. And by the way, he was homeless. Yeah. Like, yeah. He was homeless for a little while. Yeah. But he kept working out. And then he went back to Miami, and now he's signed up for flag football, which is barely even football. I mean, it is football, but not really. It's not tackle.
But he still didn't quit. He kept pushing forward.
So he's playing flag football in Florida, and somebody mentioned something about the Cleveland Browns, the NFL team, having a workout in Florida somewhere. It was a private workout. It was an invitation-only workout. Mm-hmm. And this dude would not leave this guy alone until he told him where this workout's at. He's like, look, even if you go, it's invitation only. You're not getting in. So he ends up
pretending
getting
like
the
he
address.
knew. Mm-hmm.
And the guy that gave him the address, he said, hey, the guy that's running it is Alonzo Highsmith. That's his name.
How do you remember the names? Do you have that written down?
No, not that one. But
that?
I remember the name because he played football for Miami.
Oh, okay.
He won a national championship. He ended up getting drafted, I think, in the first round by the Houston Oilers back in the day. So anyway, he goes over to the workout, and the person at the door, the girl or whoever that was there, he walked in with such confidence that he was like, I'm here to see Alonzo Highsmith. And she was like, oh, yeah, he's right. And they just let him in.
Right.
And he walked straight over to Alonzo, and he told him, he's like, hey, how you doing? My name is whatever, and I'm here to, work out. And the guy's like, who the hell? And he's like, well, you know what? I mean, if he did all this just to get in here, let's give him a shot. What do we have to lose?
Yeah.
And he ends up doing really well in the workout, and he tells him, you're invited to the official workout in Cleveland for the team. So now he has no money or very little money, and he's got to get to Cleveland to work out. Yeah. So he spends the last money that he has, goes to Cleveland, and sleeps outside, pretty much homeless, sleeps outside for the night. Then he found a fitness center where he could take a shower and change and sleep a little bit and charge his phone up, and then ended up going to the workout at the Cleveland Browns and tore it up.
Yep. Made it. So if this is, I mean, you just told him the whole story, but if that's something that you want to see, I would definitely
He recently
see it.
got signed by the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. So the moral of the story is,
it's insane.
Don't ever quit. Like, if you have a dream and it's something that you want to do, challenge yourself. Do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
There's no promise there's going to be a rainbow at the end, but hey, or gold at the end.
This dude, he had so many reasons to just give up. There's this other kid, Nathan Patterson. I didn't tell you about this one. But he was a baseball player, and he was also in a car accident and got hurt. And then recently he started working out again and training. And he went to him and his brother went to a Colorado Rockies game. Mm-hmm. And they have what's called a Rockies Speed Pitch Challenge. So it's just a challenge. Like, we can go and throw baseballs. Yeah. And it's just a speed pitch challenge. Mm-hmm. This dude goes and throws like a 94 mile an hour fastball. And then he throws a 96 mile an hour fastball. 96 mile an hour fastball. And somebody's like, who the hell is that?
Who is this?
He ended up getting signed by the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
From a pitching challenge.
I love hearing those
freaking
stories.
Insane. Yeah. It's pretty
They're
cool.
Inspiring.
Yeah. So you guys can go check those out. His name is Nathan Patterson and Damon Sheehy Giuseppe. Yeah, it's I
like
really want to see what this guy does.
That boxer from, what was it? Brawley or Calexico?
Yeah, he's from Imperial County. He's the heavyweight champ right now.
Yeah, like you looking at him, you know, he was hungry. And he had a dream, burning desire.
Yeah.
Crazy. Got knocked down, got back up, and won. Yes.
It's my Mexican wife. He won.
You're stupid. So we came across a super funny adult cartoon. My God.
An adult cartoon that can help us with all the difficult talks that we have to have with our kids.
Like, we were just chilling last night. Yeah. And we put the kids down, and we came across this cartoon that was called Big Mouth. And I'm
on Netflix.
Big Mouth? What the heck?
Big Mouth on Netflix. If you guys haven't seen it, You have to check it out. It is hilarious.
So you guys know how we've been talking about, how are we going to talk to Adriana about sex and going through puberty and
the boys talking to the boys about sex and looking up the skirts and their pee-pee and their wiener and all that stuff.
Hormone monsters.
Oh, it's so funny.
Right?
So this little boy, the girl has a hormone monster.
And so does
like
the
she's
little
going through puberty, and this other little boy has a hormone monster.
Oh my goodness.
And they just show up out of nowhere. So like this kid, he's like sleeping over his friend's house.
Right.
And he's laying in the bed, just
his friend's asleep,
and all of a sudden the hormone monster shows up, and he's like, "Oh shit, not you again." And he's like, pretty much like, what you got to do. He's like, you need to beat off in the bed. He's like, no, my friend's here. He's sleeping. And he's like, I don't care.
I don't care.
It's so messed up.
His little girlfriend ends up starting her menstrual cycle.
And then her monster shows up.
Her monster shows up.
Oh,
and
man.
then his monster showed up. And what did his monster tell him?
I don't remember. I don't remember what happened.
The mouth.
Oh, to fuck her face?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Big Mouth on Netflix.
Big Mouth.
Just watch the first episode and you'll be hooked. It is so funny.
I don't know if we were just sleepy. We're going to have to watch it again tonight and see if it's as funny.
Watch it. But
it seemed pretty funny.
It was hilarious. It was, you know what? I think there's like 3 seasons.
That's it?
So, so far.
Yeah. And we have a really good idea on an
adult TV show.
An adult cartoon.
So we're just going to put it out there?
Huh? I didn't say anything else.
It's not like
I'm not. No, I didn't say anything. I just said we have an idea. I haven't said the idea. Don't say it.
Well, we're just saying it's a similar idea, but different. So,
same, but different.
Same, but different.
Same, but different.
So anyway, yeah.
So now it's been great.
Yeah, it's been great.
Good. Yeah.
So yeah, we've had a great week, and it does seem like in between podcasts, like it's taking longer.
Yeah. Maybe we should start recording beforehand.
Yeah, we could do that, and then if we can drop an extra podcast from time to time.
You know who I miss?
Who's that?
The Mexican motivational landscaper.
Let's get some questions.
Yeah,
let's get some
need
questions.
To bring him
let's
back.
get some stuff. We got it. Something.
We got
to work on something for you. Do you know what I gotta maybe the landscaper gotta start the jiu-jitsu.
It's jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu and when you got the pain in the shoulder, you put it the Vicks vapor up, because it's not only for the mocos and the nose, but you gotta put in the pain.
Yeah.
When you do jiu-jitsu, you put it the Vicks.
You know who else you do a really good Scarface.
Oh yeah. You know what? It's weird. Like sometimes doing it on the spot, but it's okay. We could do a little bit of the Scarface.
We should do a scene on Scarface.
Yeah. Oh, that's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, you're really good.
It's funny.
The other one, was it the
what?
Irish
or the Indian? You wanted me to do a little bit of Indian for
Damien,
you? Oh
remember?
My God. Oh, Irish is harder.
Yeah.
Irish is harder because I have an Irish friend, Damien. And with him, when I'm working with him, it's easy for me to get into the Irish character. Like I can copy really well. Like there's people that used to tell me that they couldn't tell the difference between him talking and me talking.
Really?
But it's hard because when I'm not with him, and I don't practice it, it just kind of goes away a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, I can work on it.
Didn't you used to do some pranks when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Changing your voice?
Yep. Me and another person that's really good at it is Stevens.
Really? I've never heard
really
Stevens.
good. He's as good as I am.
Really?
Or if not better. Yeah. He's really good at it. So we used to call, you know the chat lines from back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was kind of like a call party. Everybody would just call and talk shit.
Yeah.
So we used to call in and we used to make pretend that I think he was a cab driver. Because we were in New York. So he was a cab driver, and I worked at a 7-Eleven. And we would go and start talking. We're like, hey, what's up, everybody? What are you doing? And then all of a sudden, he would get, oh, what's up? And then, who's this? oh my God, cousin, what are you doing? And then we would act like we were cousins that met each other, and then we would start talking. And then you know what they would do? They would three-way us into people that they knew, and we would prank them. Oh, yeah, it was pretty funny.
It was so funny. Hey, that would be funny to do it on the podcast.
Yeah, that's something that we would have to work out. Yeah,
we would have to get the
with the mixer
and that would be an investment. Yeah, that'd be another cool. investment.
And there's laws against that shit.
Oh dang.
Because there was a TV show that Adam Carolla was. Oh, I think it was his Adam Carolla. It was one of his shows called Crank Yankers, and that's what it was. They used to do prank calls.
Yeah.
But a lot of them were done in Las Vegas because there are laws for prank calling people and putting it out. You can prank call whoever you want, but putting it out without their knowledge.
Wait, then. So you're telling me the radio station, when they catch people cheating, is fake?
Well, it might be fake. Or they might have to get a release afterward. So, I don't know. I don't know exactly how that works. But, yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, that would be. It'd be hilarious.
So, we'll see. Yeah, if you guys have any questions for the Mexican landscape or any of the other, if you want to hear some of the other stuff, let us know. Yes. And we'll work on it. So. Yeah.
Well, this was a great podcast, and our time is
we'll see.
up.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you can't say it's a great podcast.
It was. I felt like it was.
The people need to say that it's a great podcast. So, anyway.
Well, if we're having fun, they're going to have fun as well. Yeah.
So, we can't wait to talk to you guys again.
Yes.
Well, don't forget, check out oppositesattractpod.com and go through the Amazon link if you guys are going to buy anything, and that would help us out. Doesn't cost you anything extra. There's also a link to Trust Inc. on our website if you need any services from them. You can watch all the YouTube videos. You can check out all of our information on oppositesattractpod.com.
By the way, you did a great job on our website. I'm like
and it's free.
Proud. You did amazing. You did great. You guys have to go out. I'm not just saying that because he's my husband, but people paid for that. And you actually did it all.
If you go to trustincUSA.com and oppositesattractpod.com, I made both the websites. And
check it out.
I just figure it out.
Just go browse, take a look. Yeah. And maybe we could do a separate video on how you did that.
How to create the website.
So we can help others be able to create, their own website as well once they start their podcast.
So that would be cool. Thank you guys for being with us.
Yes.
And we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.